right. We're here. We're back in the building. This is the Black Streak Entertainment Podcast, where anime and black culture collide.
Yep. And I believe that this year is the year of the dragon.
It is
2024. That's why I assume.
Okay. You were born on the year of the dragon.
Yeah, I was born on the year of the dragon.
88.
I don't know what that means. I'm sure there's some kind of, like how zodiac signs have something to do with your personality.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't believe in that, but I'm sure there's something that the dragon has.
I'm not sure. I think it has something to do with vitality.
Yep, 2024 is the year of the dragon.
So, what does that mean?
I don't know. I'm sure it changes depending on who you're talking to.
The year of the dragon is associated with the earthly branch symbol pronounced chin. It has been proposed by one academic researcher that the earthly branch character may have been associated with scorpions.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Not really.
No. But, since we're on the subject of China, remember that one time we went to China? This was before COVID, like a year before COVID. We went to China in 2018. And remember when we went to the mall?
Oh, yeah.
The one time we went to one of the malls there?
Yeah, they had many malls there.
Yeah, they have malls everywhere. And these malls look like stadiums. Like, they literally look like football stadiums.
Yeah, and
they're shaped like football stadiums, a cylindrical shape and everything.
And there's nobody in them. It's weird.
Yeah, tons of stores and tons of pirated merchandise.
And people just the workers just standing around on their cell phones. It's like...
There's nobody in them.
I don't want to say that they're government run, but some of them probably are. Like, they just need to get people working, so they just kind of just put them in the mall, and then they're standing there. They're doing something. They're standing around, but at one point in the mall, you could see in the floor below us there was police people with riot shields and they were going somewhere. I don't know where they were going because it didn't seem like anything was happening.
Yeah,
maybe someone fell asleep at the job. I don't know.
And then we saw one of the. I'm assuming he was a security guy. He had a suit on. He had a black suit on, and he was escorting some other dude somewhere. Remember that?
Yeah,
there was a customer or somebody. He had him apprehended. He was walking with them, and they disappeared somewhere. We didn't see where they went.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. Oh, I'm Justin Raimey, by the way.
Oh, and I'm Terry Raimey. That might be important too.
But I did buy a red jacket there at that mall, and it had English on it that made no sense, and I loved it.
What did it say on it again?
I forgot what it said.
It said, I impose myself.
No, that was someone else's shirt. Someone's shirt in China said, I insist on myself. He was just sitting there smoking a cigarette. But I got a red jacket,
your jacket,
and I forgot what it said.
Something about delivery?
I don't know. I completely forgot. I don't feel like pulling it out, but that jacket had bad English on it. But yeah, that was the time in China before the person ate a bat, apparently.
Yeah, the world became what it is today. Before they started sealing Chinese people up in their houses, well, they spot weld their doors shut.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was oof.
Yeah,
they had zero tolerance policy, and that didn't go very well.
You can go to China for $400.
Yeah, no
all expenses.
Yeah, but no thanks. And if you go, be prepared to not.
You go, but you may not come back.
Yeah, Hotel California kind of deal. So we have a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about some anime, and we're going to talk about Netflix's Yuyu Hakusho, the live-action version, and what we thought about it. So sit tight. And speaking of dragons and China, I saw a video which our listeners maybe have seen. It was on Bilibili. It's like a Chinese YouTube, just to put it in layman's terms.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a dance, like a New Year's dance stage show of Dragon Ball. I guess because it's Year of the Dragon, and it was pretty cool. So I'm going to show you that in during our break. We're about to go on break here, and then we can talk about it a little. We can talk about it a little bit once we come back.
Okay. And if you want to make anime with us, if you want to produce anime content with us, make sure you go to blackstreakentertainment.com/plans. You'll be able to put your creative muscle to the test and show the world what you're made of. For anyone who's ever wanted to create anime, do it with us.
Yes. All right. So we'll be back in a minute.
And we are back. Terry L Raimey and Justin Raimey here with the Black Streak Entertainment Podcast. Just in case you forgot, where you're at.
We just came back from watching the video I just previously mentioned about the Dragon Ball stage performance on Bilibili. So my first thoughts about it was, it reminded me, have anybody ever seen America's Got Talent? And there's like there's some kind of dance routine. It reminded me of that. I liked it though. I liked it.
Yeah. First of all, I've never heard of Bilibili. I didn't know. They don't have YouTube in China?
I don't know. I cannot say for a fact that they do. I just heard about Bilibili today because of this, because of that performance. I believe it's some kind of, it started out as some kind of like video service for, not service, but like a YouTube, a video media site where you could go to watch anime, comics, and games and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then it just kind of ballooned into like a YouTube alternative for Chinese people.
Oh, okay.
Where people do their own videos and stuff like that.
So I know when we went to China, I was still able to access Google and YouTube and all that on my phone, but I guess that's because we weren't on their network.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool. It did remind you of America's Got Talent, like some off of there. My only complaint was at the end, the dude should have sang Sha-La. That's my favorite anime opening. That's the best anime opening ever.
Yeah, this man comes out. He's probably some kind of singer, I guess, from China, and he sung the first Dragon Ball theme song.
Yeah,
and it goes through like different story arcs of Dragon Ball. They skipped a lot, but of course it was like 12, 15 minutes long. And it always amazes me whenever someone does a good dance routine, because I can't fathom how you can remember all those dance moves.
Yeah. Or how you can remember your spots on stage for all the screen effects they were doing.
Yeah. So if you get a chance, I'd check that out. Someone uploaded it on YouTube, but otherwise you're going to have to search Bilibili for it. I had no clue how, so good luck. Now, so the anime that we're going to talk about this week is Nadia, the Secret of Blue Water. If anybody ever seen that, that's a pretty old anime. It came out in the 90s. It recently celebrated its 30th anniversary, because I got some figures from there, and it had 30th anniversary stamp on it. But if you'd never heard it before, you probably seen it somewhere, where there's a character that has short purple hair and she has dark skin. You may have seen that, or if you've seen the Atlantis movie that Disney made, it ripped this whole story off. But let's just say right now, I really like this anime. I really liked it. I first saw it 3 years ago. I saw it on Crunchyroll, and I was like, yeah, I missed this. I missed this anime my entire life. I'm like, I really like it. It does have its issues. It doesn't make any sense most of the time. And Nadia, the main character, she's dumb. She's a dumb character. but I like this whole story arc. And the interesting thing about it is this Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. It was created by let me see it like it's Hideki Anno. Hideki Anno. If you remember him, he's the guy who created like the Evangelion stuff.
Oh, okay.
So Hideki Anno, sorry, and Hayao Miyazaki co-created this. Yes. So that's why it was so. I watched it and I didn't know who created it, but after I watched it, I seen who was involved in it. And I'm like, oh, that's why it was so freaking good. Because Hayao Miyazaki, if people don't know, the lead of Studio Ghibli, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, stuff like that. He was involved with this, and then once like I realized who like the Evangelion guy was created this, I got it because it has like the whole story is like biblical mythology and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
There's like Noah's Ark and there's Tower of Babel and stuff like that involved in the story.
Oh, okay.
So I really like when they mix in Bible stuff with stories. I like it. It's pretty cool. Overall, the story is very good. The characters are awesome. I do recommend it. G Kids, which I mentioned before. G Kids published the Studio Ghibli movies now. Yeah. On previous episode, I said 4Kids, which was incorrect. 4Kids, I don't know.
Yuyu.
Yeah, 4Kids are the localization team that just butchers shows for American consumption. But I don't even know if they're still around anymore.
I don't think so.
But it wasn't 4Kids, it's G Kids. But recently, G Kids came out with a Blu-ray of Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. And if you're into like good anime, I recommend getting it. There is a part in the middle of the show that, because the show is 39 episodes. I think the show is 39 episodes long. And you could tell that they kind of dragged it out. Because this was before like anime was just like 12 episodes. Like nowadays are just 12 episodes and they move on to the next thing. But I guess this was popular enough that they just stretched it out. And in the middle of it, there were these really dumb episodes. There were bad episodes and they were badly produced. They look terrible. It's so funny. I gotta show you them sometime. They look so bad. I think they were created by an overseas company in Korea. So the character models didn't match, the animation didn't match. It was bad. But there's also a Sega Genesis. There's plenty of games. I think there's a sequel to this too. I haven't watched a sequel to Nadia, but there's a Sega Genesis game that I played, and it's pretty much just a retelling of the story. And it's not like you don't do anything. You just run around and click on things and talk. And it just fetch quests and like I gotta go over here, I gotta go over here. But I don't recommend playing that game. It's a retelling of the story, but there's no point just watching the story.
Yeah.
This story follows a French boy named Jean, and he's cool. He's a cool character, and Nadia, she's like she's a mysterious girl. She doesn't know where she came from and all that. And she has a necklace that these pirates want, that these bad guys want. These bad guys create. One of the bad guys create like a Tower of Babel, which is like pretty much a nuclear missile, and he's like destroying every like people around them to get power. Mm-hmm. Then there's like a submarine plot where they join this Captain Nemo. And it's like a submarine story too. Then there's then you find out what Nadia's story is. She's Atlantean.
I'm just shaking my head because Disney just ripped this off.
They did. Disney just ripped this off, and they just say no. They claim they didn't, but I'm sure that even if they didn't, the guy who did the story or wrote the script for Disney's Atlantis for whatever reason. I'm sure he saw this because this was out way before Atlantis showed up. The Disney's Atlantis showed up, and it was probably residual in his head. 93, 94, or something like 93.
That. Okay, and Disney movies take like 7 years.
Actually, 91.
91, so Yeah, Atlantis came out 10 years later. So, yeah, this dude saw it.
Yeah.
Because Disney movies, they start production 7 years before they come out. So that means Atlantis started production right after Lion King came out in 94.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he saw this.
Yeah, he saw this. He either ripped it off or it was residual in his head. And he's like, and it's just like, in the back of his mind. 1990, it says that this came out.
Oh, yeah, he saw it.
So yeah, there's plenty of beats in here that are just ripped off from that Atlantis ripped off. The submarine plot, the main character being a guy with glasses, the Atlanteans being dark skinned people, and they have a blue crystal that makes things happen. It's too many similarities. Too many similarities. All he did was just take the Bible stuff out. So I don't want to spoil this for anybody because there's a lot of cool twists and turns in here. But I recommend it for people who like old anime and for people who like adventure anime. It doesn't, like I said before, it doesn't make any sense if you think about it, the timeline. But a lot of things that this guy makes doesn't make any sense. Well, good. The Evangelion guy. Oh, okay. He usually just makes stories that he wants, and it doesn't make any sense.
So you mean you can't place it in any time period?
You can. No, it's because the time frame of when the Atlanteans existed and who's related to who, the ages don't match up.
Oh, so the timeline of the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's our anime for this week. I bought the Blu-ray set after watching it on Crunchyroll. I got some figures of it, and it's one of my top faves. Very cool.
I know. Speaking of Disney ripping off anime, Kimba the White Lion too.
Yeah, definitely.
Lion King was clearly a rip off of that, and they claimed that it wasn't.
Yeah. Kimba the White Lion was a rip off. They say their excuse for Lion King is, it's just based off of Hamlet. But the problem is they had characters in Kimba that were like characters
exactly the same
in
it's the
Lion
same
King
story.
Yeah. So it's like that doesn't add up.
The same exact story. Even the whole Pride Rock scene that was in Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna rip off anime because you think nobody knows about it, don't pick ones from like legendary artists.
Yeah. Well, they get away with it.
That was a Tezuka.
Yeah.
Story. So everybody knows who Tezuka is. Like, come on now,
Astro Boy and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. They do that all the time. It's nothing new for Disney. Disney just takes properties that already exist and they just go ahead and just put their own stamp on it and just say, hey, look, it's Disney's The Little Mermaid. Hey, look, it's Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Hey, look, it's Disney's Kimba the White Lion. Hey, it's Disney's Naughty and the Secret of Blue Water. We'll just take all the Bible stuff out. So yeah, that's Disney. Let's see what happens to them. So we'll be back with more Black Streak Entertainment podcast. Thanks for being with us. And like always, you can visit our site,
blackstreakentertainment.com. blackstreakentertainment.com.
All right, we'll be back and we'll talk about some Blackstreak stuff.
Listeners, Blackstreak Entertainment is developing Alien Up for Nintendo Switch and PC.
And we're launching our Indiegogo campaign to fund the game on March 4th, 2024.
Perks include having your name published in the game credits, getting your Alien Up fan art included in the game, and we're even offering a perk where we'll make you into a background character.
Register now to reserve your spot and get 50% off your launch day perk.
Go to blackstreakanime.com/perk and sign up to get started. Let's fund Alien Up.
Play the Alien Up pre-alpha demo on Steam.
And we are back. So I want to talk about a Blackstreak story that I've been working on for the past 5-6 years. Basically, it's a story that I came up with after taking a trip to South Africa. It inspired me to read about mythologies of different African regions and different tribes. So I put a story together called The Legend of Sakane. Basically, it's a story about a girl from New Orleans. She's a little bit of a troublemaker. She finds out through a series of events that she is a descendant of a tribe from another world called Sakane, which is basically the world between the world of the living and the world of the dead, the spirit world. Sakane literally means in between. It's a Yoruba word.
How do you spell that?
Tsakanин. You had me thinking for a moment. The T's silent. So she finds out that she is a descendant of this tribe of immortals from another world. And not only is she a descendant of this tribe, but she's a descendant of the chief of this tribe who went missing decades ago during like World War II time frame. And this particular tribe is called the Soljin Haske, means tribe of the sun or tribe of light. They have been involved in the storyline. They have been involved in every single significant event that has happened in the history of Black people of the African diaspora. Every single revolutionary leader, from Steve Biko to Malcolm X to Martin Luther King Jr., have had a run-in with this tribe and have been trained up by this tribe in some way, shape, or form, but they're like a super secret society. So this is the tribe that this girl is a descendant of. So as the descendant of the chief, she is entitled to be next in line of his throne. The problem is she's immortal, and the immortals don't accept her. So she has to gain her acceptance through a series of trials she has to overcome.
So the problem is she's mortal or immortal?
She's mortal.
Okay.
She's mortal, and the immortals who run the tribe, they don't want her there. They don't want a mortal to run things in the tribe of the Soljin Haske. So she, in order to claim the seat of chief, she has to overcome a series of trials. And that's what the first arc of the story is about. She has to overcome these trials so she can gain the power of the chief. And the power of the chief is what's the word I'm looking for?
Inherited?
It's encased in a mask that holds the power of her chief ancestor. So in order to gain this mask, she has to overcome trials to gain her right to become chief.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what genre is this?
It's a action, adventure, fantasy story.
Oh, okay.
You know, and really I wrote it because I want to inspire young Black people and even adults to achieve their greatness. Because that's what the story is about. A young Black girl from America who comes from poverty, being raised by her stepsister, not her stepsister, but her adopted sister. After her adopted parents pass away, she comes to find her greatness through this adventure that she has. You know, along the way, there are different references to mythology from the Akan tribe, from the Yoruba tribe, everything from the Orisha, like Yamoja, Akan tribe, gods like Nyame. They're all involved in this story. And, you know, different stories that I've read from South African traditions and West African traditions. I've put different fantastical elements into the story to drive the storyline. So it's a great story. We have an animation based off the story circulating on our social media.
Yeah, looking for it on like TikTok and it's on
Facebook,
and
IG, too. Yeah, Facebook. And I've been working on the story since like 2018. So
yeah, and the story can get done as long as we have time to do it, and we get time to do it once we get people supporting Blackstreak Entertainment
right
monetarily, so we can actually because time is money,
right,
and we make our money by doing jobs that aren't Blackstreak related. So in order to get this thing actually going, like the actual what do you say, a graphic novel?
I want to publish it as a series of graphic novels, all the story arcs, and I don't know if I want to produce it as an anime or produce it as a live action show or both, or as a movie series. I'm not quite sure yet, but it all starts with you. In order for us to have the money to finish this project, we need y'all to support us. Go to blackstreakanime.com. Buy some merch. Go to blackstreakentertainment.com/plans, like I was saying earlier, to join our community where, among many other things, you can make anime along with us. What else do we have going on?
For Legends of Kana?
No, as far as how they can support us, with their dollars.
Oh, yeah, you could go ahead and go on Amazon.com.
Oh yeah, Dusty Dirty Days.
Yeah, I don't have to say .com, but yeah, you look for Dusty Dirty Days.
Yeah, Justin's manga Dusty Dirty Days is on Amazon.com. Dusty Dirty Days. You
purchase Dusty Dirty Days, and you get an actual physical book with it, and you get actual laughs with it, so it's a win-win. That supports us, so that's another win. It's a win-win-win. And then also you can go to our Patreon and support us that way.
Right, yeah, Blackstreak Entertainment on Patreon. We have like over 100 posts on there of content.
Yeah.
Manga.
The main thing being like the Fiji Random series is posted on there.
Yeah. There's a few games too. A couple games that Justin made, many games that you can play on there. Yeah, Patreon. Our Patreon's a lot of fun too. So yeah, there are many ways you can support us and get our real content.
Yep.
And have fun with it.
So, with that said, we are going to move on to our next segment after the break, where we're going to talk about the Netflix Yuyu Hakusho.
And we're back. We're in our next segment here. We're going to talk about the Yuyu Hakusho live action adaptation on Netflix that aired recently. I was excited for this one. The moment they announced it, I was super excited for it because Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite anime. I wouldn't put it in my top. It wouldn't be in my top 3, but definitely in my top 10.
Yeah,
I've watched it so many times over and over again.
Yeah, if anybody remembers Yu Yu Hakusho, like a lot of Americans, we first found out about it during the Toonami Adult Swim run that came on Cartoon Network
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's been that long.
The Spirit Detective himself. It was I think it was a Funimation localized thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an action show. It's like a shonen action show about a kid who dies, and he becomes a spirit detective and fights demons with his friends. Some being demons, some being human, and stuff like that. Just a really cool action show.
Now the live action adaptation. It was highly anticipated, especially for me. I didn't think they were going to make the deadline because they literally announced it. I remember when they announced it, they said it was coming out December of 2023. This was back in 2021. I thought they were just throwing the date out. they didn't show the first preview for it until like a couple weeks before the release, and I was like, oh, okay, it actually is coming out December of 2023. Netflix didn't let us down.
For some reason, they didn't advertise it very much. Maybe they're saving money, but I guess it was rarely advertised, and that for me that was a bad sign. I'm like, oh, this is going to be crap. But I was surprised. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I marathoned it. I just couldn't stop watching it because it was just so good, and it's only 5 episodes. I kind of like how when things are short, because I don't have time to watch all this stuff all the time. So 5 episodes, great, loved it. That's my opinion on it. But how'd you like it?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was very well done. Production value was high. The actors were great. Like they got excellent actors. They actually embodied the characters.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't try to change anything with the tone of the characters didn't change.
Yeah.
It felt like I was watching the anime just remade in live action. And it seemed grounded. It didn't seem like, you know, well, Yu Yu Hakusho is a pretty grounded anime to begin with. It's not like super corny like a lot of anime can be.
Yeah.
You know, it has a more... Yu Yu Hakusho has always had a more grounded tone. It felt like it actually happened in real life. Like if that makes any sense. But yeah, they had that same tone with this show, and I really appreciated that they didn't change the relationships between the characters or anything. They did what they could do in the short time and short budget they had.
Yeah. They had to change the story beats a bit, but that's not an issue as long as the characters are the same.
Right.
And that's why I liked it so much, because I liked the anime a lot. So when watching the live action thing, I didn't want things to change so much that it's not even the same thing anymore. Because that's why I liked the first thing I saw. I saw the anime, I really liked it. And when you change the characters and stuff to fit some kind of narrative that the director or the writer wants or something, then it becomes their thing, and it's not what people wanted to see. Yeah. People wanted to see Yu Yu Hakusho. They wanted to see that. They didn't want to see Joe Blow's Yu Yu Hakusho. You know, it's they like it for that reason. So it's like for me, I didn't like the Cowboy Bebop live action because they changed way too much.
They did change a lot.
If you keep the tone and the characters the same, you can change some things like they did with Yu Yu Hakusho. They can change some things, and that's fine, because why would I want to see the same thing reenacted again?
Yeah.
But the problem with Cowboy Bebop was the person, whoever the showrunner was, they changed it way too much and completely changed the story, and it's like, this is not the story that I like. These aren't the characters that I like, so I didn't like it. I never finished it, so I didn't get that far, but Yu Yu Hakusho, finished it, loved it, and I hope that they learn from this. I think they're learning from it. Because I didn't see One Piece, but people liked One Piece.
Yeah, I couldn't make it through the first episode. I wasn't impressed.
Oh, okay.
But with Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah, you can really tell the showrunner and the director respected the source material. They didn't derive too far from it. Anything, they just compressed a lot. And really, that's my only... I just love this anime so much, and like I love the story and the development of the character and Yusuke so much, especially when it comes to the Dark Tournament saga with Yusuke and Genkai, and you see how Genkai helps Yusuke grow into a man, into a more honorable person. They tried to depict that in this with what the time they had, but you really don't see it like you do in the anime. They didn't have the time to develop.
Yeah, it was a real time crunch.
That was my only complaint, and like, cause that was a big piece of the whole. Like, if you watch all of Yu Yu Hakusho, that was a big piece of the story, was the relationship between Genkai and Yusuke and Toguro. That was like the center of that whole anime. And they really, really rushed that. Like, Genkai was only in one episode, wasn't she?
I think she was in. Yeah, mainly. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So
She was in parts of a couple of episodes.
That's my only complaint. It was just it was too rushed for me. I really wish they could have did like 10 episodes, but I understand that there's budget and everything. I mean, they more so produced this like a 2.5 hour long movie.
Yeah.
So they did what they could.
And also kudos to the person who was involved with the fight choreography too.
Yeah, the fight scenes were amazing.
Did very good with that. So
the fight scenes, the visuals were incredible.
Yep. Script was great. And like I like how they kept like the scenery, like it was like 90s Japan.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they didn't like just make an excuse like, oh, this takes place in current times.
Yeah, you really couldn't tell when it took place. I mean, a few things like, the flat TVs.
Yeah.
But they didn't have like cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
anything like that. It still felt like
they weren't using the internet or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really cool.
Also, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, we have forums on our site blackstreakpod.com. So if you guys want to talk about your favorite, well, for me, this is my favorite live action adaptation of an anime. But if you guys want to talk about your favorite live action adaptations, just do a forum post about it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other live action adaptations of anime we could talk about. We'll talk about in other episodes. But did you watch this show dubbed or subbed?
I watched it dubbed.
Yeah, I watched it dubbed too. The dubbing was good. I liked it.
Yeah, the dubbing was great. I just don't know where they're gonna go with it. Like, the second season is going to be completely different from the show, because they mix stuff in from the third season too, like the hole to the spirit world that was opened up, or the demon world, that was from the third season. That's what Sensui was trying to do.
Oh, okay. I see. I didn't know they were going to make another one. I thought there's one and done.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do another one, but if they do, I don't know where they go with the Sensui story. I hope they do, because Sensui was a really, really cool villain. Like, he was a really cool villain, and that whole story was really cool.
Oh yeah, I liked how they had Japanese actors. They didn't just throw a white guy in there.
Yeah. No white actors.
They didn't do a Ghost in the Shell where they just where they just put a white woman in there and just say it's okay because she's a celebrity. We can't find any Asian celebrities that'll make people watch this movie.
Well, I mean, it was Japanese produced.
Yeah.
So
and I like how they kept those cheesy cosplay wigs in the character designs. It's like, they had the blue hair and all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's what they look like. They don't have to make it realistic. This is fantasy. They can just that this isn't real. So if they just have like ridiculous hair colors like they do in the show, that's what I'm in. That's what I'm here for. That's what I recognize, and that's what I want to be. So it shouldn't be afraid to do that. I'm glad they weren't afraid to do that. They didn't be like, oh, this is so and so. This is what's her name? The Grim Reaper lady.
Botan.
Yeah, this is Botan. Oh, she has black hair now. It's like, just keep everything the same. But yeah, I appreciate it. I loved it, and I gave it a 2 thumbs up when it was done.
Yeah, me too. It was great.
So Netflix, make more of that. Make more of that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So with that concludes another exciting episode of Black Streak Entertainment Podcast.
We're done already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, time's up.
That's all we got for you.
So remember, I might say this wrong sometimes, but I'm gonna say it right today. Boku no Kami ni sawaranai de kudasai.
Good job.